I don't feel like it's breaking news, but you know, spring has sprung. We're already into spring. But a lot of people may still feel a little groggy because it takes a while for your body to adjust once you've changed the clock, right? So our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narula, is here with what you need to know to finally kind of, if you reset your clock, you also have to reset your body clock.
That's right. So all of us have this internal 24-hour clock called the circadian rhythm. It's set in our brain, and it's really something that controls our bodily and cellular processes. And it's very much synced to sunlight. So you would think, does that 1 hour shift really matter? Well, it does.
I'm not crazy.
You're
it
not
does.
Crazy,
well, I mean,
Sam.
I'm crazy, but it does.
I was going to say, excuse me?
Not crazy. And a lot of us feel it. You know, most of us can reset within 7 days, but for some people, the effects last months. And in fact, when you look back historically, daylight savings was implemented for World War I and World War II to save energy. And then it became kind of standard practice in the 1960s. But 60% of the countries worldwide do not have that. They have a fixed standard time, just like Arizona and Hawaii. And a lot of groups like the American Medical Academy and American Academy of Sleep Medicine actually recommend we should not have daylight savings because of the health consequences.
And it can last for months?
It can for some people, yes. So you're not crazy if you're feeling it now.
So, I mean, yeah, so I think we've already kind of talked about why the time change impacts that, but, you know, kind of what can we do, I guess?
Yeah, so we're talking about sleep hygiene. You know, we're so good about doing that for our kids and teaching them how to fall asleep, but we forget about that as adults. And sleep is so important, that 7 to 9 hours. We think of it as this inactive time, but actually a lot is going on in our body during that time to help us grow, help our immune system, and really help our brain clear out toxins so we can think better and be more creative. And so what can we do? So we can set a bedtime that is fixed throughout the week. So even though on the weekends we like to sleep later, you want to kind of keep a consistent schedule. You want to keep your room cool and dark and quiet. So I love blackout shades. A really good pillow, my husband would argue for that, is really important. Making sure you exercise and eat healthy during the day, and then avoiding things like caffeine, alcohol, and big meals right before bed. And of course,
eat pasta and chicken before you go to bed. I did last night and I'm struggling.
Devices is a big one, right? So all of us, a lot of us, are guilty of sort of bringing our phones in the bedroom and scrolling.
Does, though.
Right, that blue light, not great. So you want to keep your devices outside of the bedroom. And then if you wake up in the middle of the night, so a lot of people say, oh, I fell asleep.
That's what's happening for me.
Yeah, so a lot of us think, okay, I'm waking up, I'm going to look at the clock, I'm going to look at my phone. Okay, don't do that. You might want to actually get out of bed for about 20 minutes and then go back. And one other thing to be...
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah,
but
I'm thinking, I just want to stay here. It's going to come. Sleep's going to come right back.
Please come back.
And then one other thing to think about, a lot of people have, you know, pain at night or acid reflux or leg cramps. So if something like that is waking you up, then certainly talking to a doctor about dealing with an underlying medical condition is important.
Okay. What about those over-the-counter kind of things? Is that helpful?
You mean like melatonin?
Yeah.
Well, there's so many though now. It's confusing. There's melatonin, but there's also the sleep gummies, whether it's with THC or with CBD.
Yeah.
And like somebody just told me about like an ibuprofen that has a sleep aid in it.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
It is confusing, and some of this can be unsafe. So you definitely want to first talk about it with your doctor. But a lot of people do reach for melatonin. Melatonin is a naturally occurring hormone, so in general it's considered safe in the short term, and it does help with things like jet lag, or if you're a shift worker, or maybe just helping you fall asleep a little bit faster. But there's not really great long-term studies on melatonin, and it can have some side effects like headache and nausea. We think about things like supplements, right? I tend to not recommend supplements to my patients because they're not regulated by the FDA. Some of them can have chemicals or other compounds in them that can be damaging. And then antihistamines, things like Benadryl, could be sedating. So
and can last for days.
And can last for days, yeah.